Alright, hey guys, Fitz back here for another random cast here, given by BMW. Sadly, he's not going to be here to co-cast with us today, but that's not to say this won't be a good game anyway. So spawning here in the top right will be Kioo, K-I-O-O. I don't know how to pronounce his name well. And his opponent will be the Teal Terran, Cryoc here. So the map appears to be Fighting Spirit. Let me just verify that. No, it is Sniper's Ridge actually, so really all you need to know about this map in general is that your natural, it's a very easy natural to hold off. The only thing that you need to worry about is these ridges here. It can make it a little bit annoying for anyone that has range units on top of them. It can sometimes make it for an interesting mid-game, but otherwise there isn't really too much about it. And by the way, I have few, and let's just talk about their teams real quick while Kioo is putting down a pylon. I believe this is Untouchables for Cryo and an International Federation of Untouchables for Cryoc. I don't know what UT is. I want to say it's Untouchable, and maybe this is like from a different clan, from the same clan, just a different name, but just something just to note there. We do have a gateway going down right about now at 10 supply. We'll see if he's going to put down that gas. If he is, then they'll probably verify he's probably just going to go 1 gate or 2 gate pressure. But we shall see. And there goes down the barracks, and probably soon we'll follow it up with a refinery. Yep, and there's the 11 simulator, so things are looking pretty standard right now. Cybercore will probably come up around 210, 215 possibly. Probably the standard stuff. Almost he's going to differentiate. He'll differ his build order. So, yep. And there goes down the scouting pro for Kioo. This is probably around the more standard timing. You know, Dragon did a little bit more later when he did it after after Cybercore. But on a map like this, you kind of want to know what your opponent's doing. But Kioo will actually be standing in the wrong location. And let's see if Cryoc's going to be doing the same thing. Yeah, it appears like Cryoc's going to be going into the bottom left as well. So now the player's going to be able to scout. So any kind of like shady play, any kind of sneaky play would probably work right now. I'm not sure if either player really knows that, but we shall see. But it looks like a 1 fact expand. It could be a 2-rack as well. But that's just gonna have to. We can only tell that by if he only puts down another factory right there. So 2 fact would probably be about all in. But again, we're just gonna have to wait and see. And well, that's scouting pro. Oh, there it is. I was just I thought it may have gone cross position, but I was looking at the pathing of like the shadows on the minimap, and nothing really showed there. So range has started right now, and we have the first Dragoon out now. He might just do like a 1 gate expand too. That's very econ style. It's safe. You still get a couple of units out in time. It's probably the most. Well, actually, probably a 2 gate expand is probably safer, but if you want to get a little greedy, and this map is kind of the same size and shape as Fighting Spirit, just with ridges in the center, so we'll see. He's queuing up a lot of probes. I bet this is going to be a 1 gate expand now. With the amount of probes that are queued up, probably the reason why. And it's looking more like an FD push coming up right now, as we probably see a second fact coming up soon. And FD push tends to have, well, both of them actually tend to get Spider-Mines in them. And he's not playing defensive. If he was playing defensive, he'd probably get Siege Tech. And so he could put the Siege Tech on the high ground so the Dragoons would be able to defend it back for the time being. But what Kioo, the one thing I don't like about Kioo's play right now, and then he goes down the expand off of 1 gate, is that he's not really being. I wish he would send over a couple of his Dragoons over here, because what's going to happen here is that this push from Cryoc is actually going to be really intimidating, because what protesters can do against this kind of push is if they have the Dragoons a little bit more active on the map. Okay, here we go. He's going to be pushing out. What they can do is they can start stutter stepping against these Marines, as the Dragoons have 1 more range than the Dragoons do, and they can just kind of micro back, fire once, micro back. They're not. Dragoons aren't really doing a ton of DPS against Marines anyway, but it does weaken it off here. And this bush is actually going to look a lot more powerful here. And kioo, especially with only one gate, is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. And he's gotten really greedy actually. He's just gone right to Robo as well. So this is actually going to look really annoying. But he actually is microing very well for kioo right here. And he just lost that one, but now he may lose that tank in this bush that's with Thor. Very nice control by kioo right there. But like I said, he's getting a little greedy right there. There goes down the second gate right now, and second and third gates are going up right now. So going back down to what we have at Cryoc's base here, he's putting down an expansion. He's lifted up his barracks and put down it to help wall off as well, and he's getting a second factory, and he's getting siege tech. So this is where probably Terran's going to want to turtle a little bit, and it looks like we have an SCV still in the main base here, and I don't think kioo actually knows about this. And not like Terran has a big of an issue, like a terrible time of scouting Protoss, especially with scans available. It's just kind of nice to have this SCV. Yeah, actually it looks like he's just going to, well, he's probably going to just scout down here to see what's down here. Or not. It's just kind of going around. And he just will see that a Robo is up there, any kind of like sneaky tech. He should see the Citadel, and that will just kind of well, what we can see here is Protoss can go. He's probably just gonna get a lot more gates. He might be going for fast arbiters when I think about it, because Citadel, you don't get zealots up that quickly in this matchup, just because you're not really fighting tanks really that fast. He could though. What he might do is he might get a shuttle, and he might get he might get speed, and then he might just go for a counter push. But that could be an option, or he might just be doing this just to pure get up some tech to get Templar Archives to eventually get up fast arbiters, but off of 2 base. But I'd probably like to see that off of. Yes, he's gonna go for fast arbs. Okay. Well, actually, he could go scout, I guess. You know, this is actually really bizarre. I don't know what kioo's actually going for with these 2 Stargates right here. And alright, so we have an eBay going up for Cryoc here. I don't believe he scouted that location. No, that's Cryoc's position. We want Cryoc's position. Yeah, I'm really slow at this. You know, he hasn't like scouted anything. He doesn't have any mines in there, so I don't really know what he's thinking about it. But with these spider mines, if any kind of air goes that way, that's going to be really nice to see. You know, that's really going to help out right there. But it looks like we have a lot of vultures coming up right about now. And okay, so he's going to go carrier. Now, I mean, I love carriers by all means, but the one thing you have to, what this kind of lends itself to is he's going probably 2 base carrier, which is totally fine, but you need to make sure that Terran doesn't scout it, or else they can just get up a good amount of Goliath numbers, because you have to keep in mind, Goliath are really just like on the tech path of this, and Protoss have been doing this just more lately than what I've seen, as this is a very recent replay actually, like brand new apparently. Protoss all of a sudden have been going some like carrier transitions, because there's such a, Terrans don't really get a lot of anti-air, and they're kind of realizing this, and they're like, oh, well, I can just go carrier. But the only thing that was all Terran has to do is actually just wait for or just buy enough time so they can get up enough Goliath, and they can actually just start one-shotting you know, carriers without really much of a trouble. So as you can see, he's getting double carriers, and this is actually very interesting, because I mean, he can lend himself up to like a really good late game too if he just keeps these in the back of his base, and he can just all of a sudden just transition. But he's getting more gateways, which again, I don't really know if he can actually afford all that off of 2 base. I mean, again, this is very brand new to me. I've never really seen this build order, but he's getting a lot of gates out. He's already up to 6 gates, which 6 gates is probably like a really good number to have off of 2 base, because it allows you to also tech at the same time here. But your tech buildings aren't going to be the worth of like 500 minerals and like 450 gas with upgrades. I mean, he's getting upgrades from his Cybercore and that Sleep Bacon before, so Beacon Bacon, same thing. But But I'll just be very interested, you know? I mean, it does come down to, does Cryoc know, when does Cryoc know about it? How does he deal with it? Does he get the Goliath out in time? That's what really matters. He is getting range on them, but that's just because you're getting range on them, because eventually you're going to want to transition to them anyway. But with these comp stats coming up for the first time, this is actually going to allow him to actually scan very well. We do have a third base here, and something might be going off in Cryoc's mind. Like, alright, something should be coming from the Protoss soon. And he's playing a very defensive two-base Protoss. And optimally, if you go by standard rules, your Protoss should always be off one more base than Terran. So theoretically, Caillou should be up a 4 base by now. But because he's not, he's theoretically behind. But again, that's just talking about very, very standard play. Does it apply to this? Not really, just because the carriers are like this really, like, they'll destroy this army if they're like +3 with proper upgrades and there's no Goliath out. But again, remember that standard, you know, Terran play will get a lot of, you know, factors out. You know, they'll probably mainly go Vulture tank, but it's just a quick tick path away of just getting like queuing up 9 factories full of Goliath, and then carriers really aren't that great. Now again, it does come down to carrier micro and all that fun stuff, but if you want to know what Goliath hard counter, it's just the carriers. And something must be going off because again, he's not, well, first off, he's not really maxed out, which this is probably the time where you would want to be maxed out, or a lot more bases. And Terran has been checking for a third base. This mine actually hasn't even been killed off yet. And one thing you want to do from the strategy a lot of the time is just to be able to defend, to make it appear that you're going something else. I mean, he's getting a ton of gates. I mean, he's actually just making mass gateways. And I mean, I'm not, and to be completely frank, let me just tell you a little bit of this game real quick. If you have a fully saturated Protoss base here, okay, so he showed off a carrier. I don't know what that was doing, but that just was that like a misclick, or he just rallied them down here? Okay, well, this is very interesting. Goliath are already in production, are already in position. And like I said, he's just going to queue up a lot of Goliath, which is what he's doing. And like I was saying, this amount of gateways is absolutely ridiculous because, well, number one, he's not even producing out of them as many as he could. Well, I take that back. Actually, he's producing out of all of them. That's weird. But anyway, generally speaking, if you only have if you have a fully saturated base, you can go up to 4 gates. If you have 2 bases, you have 8 gates. I guess if it's just pure zealot, I guess you can afford it. But if this is, I don't know how. Yeah, see, like this is like the last 5 gateways aren't even being produced out of, and I think he's just waiting. Yeah, he's just making continuous production of carriers here. I think they just poked in there for a second. I don't think we really missed that much. But again, these Goliaths are actually going to be really annoying to deal with, as they have +1 as it stands anyway. And it looks like he's just gonna kill off a couple of vultures here. Not the prime use of them, but still, it's totally good. And alright, so it looks like he's gonna be expanding down here, but there are a good amount of vultures here to stop that. And I'm just a little worried for Caillou because this third base is so delayed, and Terran, if he'd like to, he could just take a 4th and 5th base, no problem. Because, I mean, this isn't really that much stuff, to be completely honest. Now, are we getting more upgrades? That's kind of the important thing for carriers. That +1 attack is so needed. Armor, of course, is important as well. But these guys are DPS dealers really quickly, and that's what you want them to be. That's how you should apply your upgrades to them. They're not really tanky units. They're there to dish out a ton of DPS, kind of like what Hydras are. They have a crap ton of DPS, but okay. But this is actually really nice though, because it will actually force a reposition of a lot of Goliath. he'll step off, you know, a science facility, and that's actually pretty big. I mean, he has to reproduce that. Now he can't actually get any more, he can't continue with upgrades if he'd like to. They are in the middle of their upgrades right now, as he just started armor really quickly. That was really nice right there. The one thing actually he can do, again, it does come down to carrier micro. He can actually use the base to his advantage here because, you know, bases tend to have like their own artificial choke points. It makes it really, really nice for carriers to do that. He's trying to target fire, and this is when you probably want to back out, but that is a lot of Goliath though. But he's actually pulling them back. Oh, that carrier did survive. That's really nice micro. But now they're getting all surrounded here. So will they actually be, is he going to be target, I think he's target firing each Goliath individually. Yeah, that's what he's doing. At the same time, we do have a position up here at the same time here while he's microing those tanks here. So I guess it's going to be a base trade. And he's at this choke point here. Remember, he can't see up there as well. But it does come down to how does he defeat this. He's not really producing a lot out of his gateways at all, actually. He needs a ton of wow. I was gonna say he just needs a ton of zealots really to deal with this army, but it looks like it's just coming back down here to deal with the dragoons here, because they'll just beat excuse me, they'll just beat Goliath just straight up here. So this is actually a pretty very interesting game right here. And I mean, if he can snipe off the armories here, he could even potentially stop an upgrade, but more importantly, he could stop the production of Goliath, and that would actually be huge. But I think he's actually losing a lot of his carriers right here. But there's not that much anti-air. To see here. All right, he has 5 Goliaths out on the field right now, and I think just 2 more pops right here. So these Goliaths are actually tanks are actually wow, carriers are actually dying. I mean, he's done good damage to the production, and he did trade a whole mech army, but can he transition out of this? That's the question. And wow, he's still gonna even get carriers right now. I'm not sure if that was just like one left over, because he's not seeing at both of them. He needs to double expand right now. This is exactly what he needs to do. He just needs to get zealots, and this should be able to clean up this with no problem. It's a nice micro though from Cryoc right now though. He goes down another armor right there. So he's up to 3 armories right now. That is a lot of gateways still. I just want to actually figure out how many gateways that is. He's up to 9 gates right now. Well, actually, that's not even that many. Well, it's 1 more than you're actually supposed to max off of. Okay, but yeah, it looks like he's just stopped. So he's gonna actually have to start recommitting into upgrades into his gateway army now. And I mean, he's mined out at his natural, and he's almost mined out at his natural, and more. Oh, here are the carriers. Okay. I didn't see that there's one left. I think there was still one in the main base, and it was that one rallied over there. Okay, but that's a crap ton of Goliath though. I believe these have. I don't actually know what their upgrades are. That one lone carrier man has like 12 HP, I think. 12 HP. And yeah, he's just harassing the mineral line here, and this is how. And again, he's forcing a reposition. Remember, that 3rd base is far away. These Goliaths, he needs to be a little careful here. You may lose these. Yeah, that. I know at least one of those is going down. Yeah, that one's going down for sure. 12. Let's see if he's carrier harass is the new style for Protoss now. What a crazy game, man. This is absolutely phenomenal. But anyway. Looks like Ted's gonna spawn in the bottom. It's gonna expand in the bottom left. So it's like 1 base to 1 base. So it's kinda like starting off a 1 base with all your tech done. And just what do you Tech 2 now. I mean, we have a mech army for Terran here, but remember, Goliath are walking tin cans, just like what BMW has said. They're not. They're just kind of there. They don't really have much of a purpose, except for anti-air. But I mean, they attack the ground. Okay, that's great, but they aren't that great. And even, he even has a DT in here. That's sneaky. Does he know about that? Does he scan? Yes, he does. Okay. Okay, that's good, at least. And Storm, that did nothing. Alright, so Terran, I mean, Protest needs to expand like twice, I feel. Because he's literally mining off of one base. I think he has two gases right now. Is he still producing out of his carriers? So that's the interesting thing right now. But we'll figure that out in a second right here. He's still going in there and harassing. 7 more CVs were killed. Yeah, it looks like he's stopped. He's just going in more of a gateway-centric army. And I think Kaiu's won this. Because Cryoc is actually in the midst of trying to figure out, does he make Goliath? Does he make... Like, this is why... Okay, like, now the carriers for sure can just go back in right here. And that's probably what we're going to see eventually. This carrier's probably going to go back in there and harass. And that's the only mining base, really, that Terran has, remember. And a nice storm going down. And... yeah, alright, so yeah, it definitely appears... Okay. Alright, wants to be a little... Oh, he stemmed up a high tempo, though. That's pretty good. Because Storm is actually really, really good against these Goliath, actually. I think if, like, a full Storm hits, like, the whole... Like, the Goliath is in there for the duration of the entire Storm, they will die. Okay, so I don't know why, actually, he'd leave this mineral line. For one, he can set up the armor. I'm not sure if he knows about it. And two, the SCVs. So now Terran's like put himself like he has like a really good position here for Protest. Really, they can't engage because it's just a small choke point. Is it actually 80 to 80 supply? Yeah, it's literally dead even supply counts. And it's 21 to 26 harvesters. So I mean, it's about dead even harvesters too. But this harass is actually going to make it really effective. Because either what is Cryoc? Does he go back or does he just let his one mining base die? 7 more were just killed off. They do have +3 right now. It's actually awesome. And again, both players are off of one base. Wow. This is quite the game. Wow. And that's actually big. Okay, with that command center done, that is really gonna put a blow onto Terran because he's literally he's better off just literally lifting off this command center and just going somewhere else. But he's at, oh, actually, whoa. Didn't even see this right now. So there's actually a counter push happening over here as well. So he's gonna kill off all these probes right here, and not only that, he's gonna step off the Nexus. So what do you go from here? He has 2 carriers. He can't engage the main base as there's not enough carriers. Oh, he's actually gonna try to. He's gonna try to carrier micro. One's very, very weak though. CR carrier. So we have like a decent amount of Dragoons left. But I was just counting the mineral patches on the amount of minerals that are in his natural. He does not have enough for an expansion. He's mined out. So Caillou, man, may have but at least Terran can long distance mine. Caillou really can't. Oh, is he gonna? Oh, he just lost one carrier. And don't forget though, these carriers are actually useless now because they're just gonna lose their interceptors and then they can't actually reproduce them. So carriers are actually not going to serve a purpose right now. So yeah, that's all I can really say right now. All right, so he's gonna go for this. This is probably gonna be the last thing I can say. Both players are extremely both mined out right here. Nice storms though. Is it enough though? Oh, it's actually coming really, really close right here. Does it work? Does it take it off another shot? It does. Obs is done. But do these Goliaths? It's one weak Goliath. Okay, these are two really weak Dragoons and one High Templar. That's all she wrote. Are you kidding? Like both these players are actually at like dead even. Okay, but Terran actually can along this mine here. Can he storm? Can he storm? No. If he waits for another like thing of SCVs to come back down, he can storm it. Oh, that's gonna be huge if he can do that. If he can pull that off. Is that what he's gonna be waiting for? Alright, but he just has enough for one tank here. That's really all he needs. He's gonna be sieging. Does he storm? The High Templar got sniped. Yeah. Okay, Caillou. Yeah, Caillou has no potentiality of actually coming back from this now. I cannot see him coming back. Okay, he's even gonna repair now. It's coming down. This is like a micro battle. There was a YouTube video a while back that was like two really high-level pro players microing it out, and it's actually kind of funny because it's kind of like that right now. But does he even have any probes left? Does Caillou even have a single probe left? He has 5 probes left. He just needs to long this mine. But he's not. I don't even know where his probes are, actually. I was glad I was checking for something, but there's literally nothing on the map for either player. We have a High Templar or Dragoon. This is actually when this tab comes in really handy. Yeah, actually that's his army. And he has 1 Ob somewhere. And 5 probes. Grid, 7 SCVs, 2 Vultures, 1 tank, and 3 Goliaths. Yeah, I mean, unless we got some crazy storms off. I mean, he does have 200 energy for 2 storms. Alright, and the Ob's getting sniped off too. That sucks. I don't even know how he saw that. Did he just actually just scan? Yeah, he must have just recently scanned. This storm's going down. I mean, problem is, like, what can he storm? The tank is gonna be there. He's got a... No, he has nothing left. GG. That was quite the game. We have Agoon out. Okay, Caillou leaves. You know, there really wasn't... yeah. It was just that we never saw that third base come up quick enough. And that's kind of the reason how that game went out, why it kind of went to that point in the game. Guys, thanks for watching. This was a random cast. I have like a show match or something to cast. He gave me a show match to cast. Again, this is just me something to cast till Clan League comes back up. So guys, thanks for watching again, and peace. Hope you guys enjoyed this random cast.